So, one of the studies that was done was based on a reading program, and it was called the MRC. And so, the MRC's impact on kindergarten reading was among the largest of any estimates in our study. While effects were small in grade 3 and non-significant in grade 2, these patterns may indicate that grade level outweighs subtleties in tutoring pedagogy and accounting for effect sizes. So that implies that if we are going to be helping our students get these interventions and tutoring, the best time to be doing this is really around that grade level, that age level, kindergarten, 4 to 5, I would say, is that age range. And so that's where the most impact could be done. That's where the most crucial parts of learning can actually happen while they're still motivated.
Yeah, and that study also later on when they're discussing the results of the study, because it's a 49 meta-analysis, so they've taken all 49 studies and compared all of the results and whatnot, they've showed that that age range that they have about a 50% chance of being effective. And versus if you go to second, third, it drops down to 30%. And then if you go to middle school, it drops down to 20%. And
Wow.
yeah, so while tutoring can still be effective at all ages, it has the biggest impact the younger a kid is because the kid is more likely to absorb and follow that new way of thinking.
Wow. So I'm curious, since we're talking about students within that age range and primarily students in kindergarten benefiting so widely from additional services such as tutoring, what specific reading skills are children learning in kindergarten that tutoring can actually strengthen so effectively?
So many things. Kindergarten is the basis of everything. The kids are learning what words are, learning how to sound words out. They're not necessarily reading right away, but some kids are depending on what they're learning and how effectively they are learning. So you see that a lot of kids are sounding things out or they're starting to make connections between what this looks like versus what it sounds like. And so if the kids are made already making connections between words and their sounds and can start sounding things out and then start putting together sentences, you can see that so much of it is now that foundation again. Like if I can't sound out a word, how am I supposed to tell you what this word is? I have no idea. And if I have no idea, I'm not learning anything. And so that's why we see it as such a huge focus in those kindergarten classrooms.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And without learning and mastering those foundational skills, that goes back to what we were discussing earlier about, these holes and these gaps that they're going to need to be filled. Otherwise, our learners are going to continue struggling.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So, what does effective early reading tutoring actually focus on during those first school years?